Good morning, everybody. I am Anusha from CSC department, working as assistant professor in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. In my videos, I'm discussing about the subject programming with object. Now let's move on to the Unit 2 question bank discussion. The Unit 2 is about inheritance and packages. So let's go to the first program. Develop a Java program for the scenario where bank is a class that provides functionality to get the rate of interest. However, the rate of interest varies according to banks. So here we should have a class named as bank, and from bank there are more than one class which is inherited, and they differ in their rate of differ in their rate of interest. So let's say we are having a bank class named bank, and in that bank there is a method get rate of interest. So in the parent class will return the value 0 if that get rate of interest is called. Now from this bank there are three other classes which is inherited. So we have SBA extending the bank, ICICI extending the bank, as well as Axis. So from bank we get SBA, ICICI and Axis. So three classes are inherited from the bank class. So all these three classes will have this method get rate of interest. So when get rate of interest, since the rate of interest differs in different bank, the implementation of that particular method should differ in each class, in each subclass. So here in the SBA case, the rate of interest the rate of interest method is returning the value 8. In the ICICI bank, the rate of interest is returning 7, and the Axis bank is returning 9. So since these three subclasses are obtained from the bank class, whatever properties is present inside the bank class is available for SBA, ICICI and Axis. So the get rate of interest is present in the bank class, so that is overridden inside the SBA class, ICICI as well as the Axis class in their own way. Now when you create the object of these classes, of these subclasses, you can using their objects, you can invoke that particular method. So S dot get rate of interest will invoke the SBA's since S is the SBA's object, it will invoke the rate of interest of the SBA class, and in the second case it is ICICI rate of interest, so it will invoke the rate of interest of the second ICICI class, and the Axis Bank one A object will invoke the Axis Bank rate of interest method. Next is to write a Java program for the following scenario wherein animal and dog both classes have a common property color. If we print color property, it will print the color of the current class by default. To access the parent property, we need to use the super keyword. So in this case, here we are having a class named animal, and a dog class extends that animal class. So in the animal class, we have we have the parameter or the instance variable color which is white, and in the dog class its color is black. So the color is set to black in dog class. Now from the print color method, you have to invoke the parent class color as well as its own color. So to invoke the instance variable of the child class, you can simply call color. So when you just display that value, it will give the black. The black value will be displayed. It will print the dog class color. Now in the second case, we are invoking the parent class color variable. So you have to make use of the super keyword to invoke the parent class instance variable. So super.color will print the color of the animal class which is white. So now here we are creating an object of the dog class, and we are calling the print color on that particular object. So when this print color is called, it will call this color, it will print the dog class color as well as the as well as the animal class color because of the super.color parameter. So similarly, if there was a method inside the animal class, say meth, you can invoke the superclass method by super dot meth. So it will invoke that particular method of the parent class. Next is to write a Java program wherein there is an employee class which inherits the person class. So all the properties of the person will be inherited to the employee, and initialize all the properties using the parent class constructor from child class and display the output. So here we have the person class. The person class is having its instance parameter ID and a variable name which is of string type. Now you have the constructor for the person class which will initialize the ID and we have the we have the person class constructor which is which will initialize the ID and the name variable. From this person class we are extending the employee class. So in the employee there is a parameter a salary. So this employee class will have the ID and name because employee is the inherited from person. Now the constructor of the employee is the constructor. The employee constructor has to use the person constructor. Can use a person constructor to initialize the name and ID since they are already, it is already defined, and you can have the salary initialized in its inside its constructor. So to invoke the parent class constructor, we have to call the super constructor. So to the super we are passing this ID and this name. So use the super ID will invoke the person class constructor and assign as to its object, it will assign that these values which is being passed, and to the salary this value will be assigned. Now to display then inside the employee class there is a method display. This display method will display the ID, name and the salary of that particular object. Now inside the main we are creating an object E1 which will have value 1, Ankit and some 45,000. So when you call in, so when this constructor, when you create an object E1, it will invoke this constructor, EMP constructor, which will in turn invoke the person constructor to assign. So E1 will have, the object E1 will have 1 ID, then name and salary. So ID, name and salary are the values of the E1 constructor. So ID is 1, name is Ankit and salary is 45,000. So to ID it will be 1, name will be Ankit and the salary will be 45,000. So to invoke these two, to assign these two values, it is invoking the person class constructor, the super constructor, and the salary is assigned inside itself. So this is how we make use of the super keyword to invoke the members as well as the constructor. Next is to write a Java program to create a class calculator inside a package name. Let me calculate, and use the methods defined inside the calculator to get the output. So whenever we create a package, we have to use the package. We have to give the package name. So package, let me calculate, indicates the compiler that this program is available inside the package named let me calculate. Then then inside the calculator we have the method add, which takes in 2 parameters and add them and return that value. So we are you're creating a object of the calculator class, and to that we are to the add method of that object we are passing 10 and 20. So it will this will in turn invoke the add method. It will add those 2 values and return. So 10 and 20 is added and 30 will be returned here. So that is being displayed. So package is mainly used to organize our classes and also to prevent naming conflict. That means you cannot have you cannot have 2 classes with the same name in a package. So and also we can have a variety classes of the same type. If they are all related to mathematical operations, we can put it inside the package name math. Likewise, there are there are a lot of built-in packages which is available inside Java, like math, lang, util. All these things are packages wherein the different classes which behave almost in the same way is kept inside one package. Next program is to write a program to create an abstract class named shape that contains two integers and an empty method print area. Provide three classes rectangle, triangle, and circle such that each of the classes extends the class shape. Each one of the class contains only the method private area that prints the area of the given shape. So here we have to create a class named shape, and you should have an empty method print area. So to create an empty method print area, we have to make use of the abstract keyword. So since this shape class contains this print area abstract method, we have to declare that shape also as abstract. So whatever class is inheriting this shape should give an implementation for that print area method. Now there is a non-abstract method also in this shape class. So we have from the shape class, there are three classes derived. One is the rectangle, then another is the triangle, and the circle class. So this rectangle class, since the rectangle class is inheriting the shape class, this rectangle should give the implementation for the print area method. So the print area method is defined in its own way. So this shape class, the print area method is overridden by the rectangle class in its own way. So here this print area method is used to display the area of that rectangle. Similarly, the triangle class is overriding the print area method of the shape class to find the area of the triangle, which is half BH. And the circle class is to find the circle class area of the circle class. The print area is overriding to find pi r square. So while creating the object, first you create the rectangle object, you initialize those two values, and you are calling the print area. So rectangle is having this values as 10 and 20. So the value will be 200. The rectangle area will be 200. Next, the triangle object is created. Triangles x and y values are initialized to 30 and 35, and you are invoking the print area. So it will find half BH, half 30 into 35, which will come to 525. And in the third case, the value is assigned to x value is set to 2, and you are calling the print area method. So it will the circle will take only the x value to print to find the from the package math. You are taking the constant pi, and r square is calculated. So circle is implementing that method print area in its own way to display the area of the circle, and which will be 12.56. Next question is to illustrate the use of super keyword in method overriding with example. So here we have the figure class. This figure the figure class has the method has a constructor figure and area method. Next, we in this program we have a class named figure. It is having two instance parameters, dimension 1 and 2. And those the constructor is initializing those value. Then there is a method named area. So in the figure method, the area is undefined. So it will just return 0. Now from this figure class, a rectangle and a triangle is inherited. Rectangle and triangle is inherited. So this area is overridden by the rectangle and the triangle class. So to initialize the values of the instance variables of rectangle, already the figure method constructor is invoked. So you call it using the super keyword. Super constructor is invoked, which will initialize the rectangles a and b values to whatever value is passed to it. And the area method is again modified according to the area formula of the rectangle, which is returning length into breadth. So these x and these a and b values are multiplied and they are returned. In the same way, the triangle class, to initialize the triangle class, we are calling the superclass constructor. So the superclass constructor will invoke the superclass constructor will initialize these values a and b as given by the triangle object, and the area is modified or overridden by in its own way to return the dimension half BH formula. So these two values are taken from the object and its formula is applied and the value is returned. So the area method is so here the name of the method overriding means it is a type of polymorphism wherein the method names as well as the signatures will be the same. So in our case, we have the area method. In all the three cases, the name is the same and there are no parameters passed to it. So so this method area is over the parent class method is overridden by the child classes. So these child classes are providing their own implementation for the method area. So when you can create an object of rectangle class and triangle class, and you are initializing those values to give the areas. When you call the area method of the triangle class or the here you're called see initially the figure reference is made to point to R. So R is rectangle class. So when you call we have an object, we have a reference, figure reference. We have an object R, which will take values 9 and 5. Then we have an object T, which will take values as 10 and 8. So figure reference is made to point to R. So it will point to R. And when area is called, it is basically calling rectangle's area. So rectangle's area will be found, which is returning 9 into 5 and that value is 45. Next, this figure reference is made to point to T, the triangle class. So it will point to the triangle class. Now, so it is basically calling T dot area. So when T dot area is called, it will invoke the triangle's area method and it will find half BH. So half into 10 into 8, which will be 40. And in the third case, figure reference is made to point to F. The F is not having any value, so it is just returning the value 0. So it will return value 0 to it. So this is by which we are implementing method overriding. Next is to compare and contrast interfaces and abstract classes. The abstract class and interfaces, they are two means by which we can achieve abstraction in Java. But the abstract class is partial abstraction, whereas interface is complete abstraction. So in abstract class, we can have abstract as well as non-abstract method. It does not support multiple inheritance. The abstract class can have final, non-final and non-static variables, static and non-static variables. They provide the abstract class can provide implementation of an interface. The keyword is abstract. The keyword used is abstract to declare any class as abstract class. Then it can extend any other Java class and implement multiple Java inheritance and Java interfaces. It is extended. It can inherit using the extends keyword, and Java abstract class can have class members like private, protected, etc. So to create an abstract class, we make use of the keyword abstract, and any method which is abstract that should also be declared as abstract. Next, the interfaces, they can have only abstract methods, that is, it cannot have any implementation. But from Java 8 onwards, they are supporting default and static methods which can have implementation. To achieve multiple inheritance, it is interfaces that is used. Interface variables are always static and final. They cannot provide the implementation of an abstract class. Then the interface, the keyword used to declare any interface, it is the keyword used is interface. The interface can extend another Java interface, and to implement the interface, we make use of the keyword implements. The members of Java interfaces are always public and public. And this is how an example, we are creating an interface named as drawable, and the abstract method is draw. So here, since the method inside interface will be always abstract, so they will not have any implementation, and whichever class is either implementing or inheriting these abstract class should give the implementation for the draw method of either of the abstract class or on the interface. Next is to demonstrate dynamic binding with an example. So in this case, we are having a method named dispatch. Dynamic binding, it's like a method method overriding is achieved using dynamic binding, and the binding happens at the time of execution. During runtime, the binding happens. So that is dynamic. It is dynamic binding is achieved at runtime. Okay, so this is so here we have this class named as dispatch, and you're creating yes, we have a class named D, the parent class. We have the class named E, which is extending D, and we have the class named F, which is also extending D. Now in this D method, there is a method D class, there is a method named call me. So call me is providing one implementation of that method inside D. Now since E and F is inheriting the D class, they can override those methods. So they can override, E is defining call me in E's way, and F is defining the call me in F way. So now we are creating an object of we are creating three objects of D, E and F class, and we are having a reference variable of the parent class. Now this reference variable is made to point to the parent class and the child class objects. So at this, by doing this, we are this binding of this parent class object and the child class object happens during the runtime. So now here at the time of execution, when you are assigning this value of we are making the object reference R, parent class parent class reference R to point to A. So A is what? A is again the parent class object. So we have the object reference R, and we have the D class object A. Then we have the E class object B and the F class object C. And they all have the call me method also. Call me method is available for all of three in the three different ways. So call me will be in one form in D, it will be in a different form in E and different form in F. So call me is overridden by the child classes. So we are having a reference R, and this reference R is made to point to A initially. So A is what? A is the parent class object. So R is pointing to that. So and you are calling R dot call me. That means call me is invoked on R. So but basically R is pointing to the object A. So it will be calling the call me of the D class. So we get the call me of D class. Now same way, we have R pointing to B. So R is pointing to B now. This is not is pointing to B, and R dot call me means it will invoke the B's call me. B is object of E class, so it will get inside E's call me. Similarly for when R is made to point to C, R dot call me will be, it is calling C dot call me, which is the call me of the F class. So it will display the F value. So here what happens is, even though we are making use of the parent class reference, using the parent class reference, we are invoking the child class objects. So this binding happens at runtime, and this the binding that occurs during runtime is called as dynamic binding. Next, why multiple inheritance is not supported by Java? Explained by suitable examples. So multiple inheritance means, let's say we are having from more than one parent class, you have a child class inherited. So let's say we are having a parent class A, a parent class B with two methods print. Okay, they both are having the same method print, and from this class we are having the C class which is invoked. So C will also have the print method. So what happens? A will be printing A will be implementing in its own way. Okay, and B will be implementing in its own way, and C will be implementing in its own way. Now you're creating an object of C. You're creating an object of C and you're calling the print method. So what happens here? C is already having two copies of the print method which is obtained from the A and B value, B classes. So there will be an ambiguity to invoke which method. So the C object will have a confusion of invoking the copies of the print method. So to prevent this ambiguity, multiple inheritance is achieved using the interfaces, because when and this problem is called as diamond problem. Okay, so so to solve this, we are making use of the interfaces. So what happens in case of interfaces? The methods are all abstract, so there won't be any implementation for all these methods. So A will be defined as an interface, B will be defined as an interface. Even though A and B have the same method print, it is C class which will be giving the implementation of that method. So since A and B are interfaces, these two methods will be implemented, or the body will be provided by the child class, whoever is inheriting that particular class. Okay, so let's see an example wherein we are having this printable interface, where the printable interface has two methods, print and hello, and there is a showable interface which has method show and hello. Okay, now from the printable, this third class MI interfaces is implementing both the printable and showable method. So the MI interface class will have all these methods, print, hello, show and this hello. But since these are all interfaces, there won't be any implementation for these methods. The printable and the showable interface will not have any implementation of these methods print and hello and show. So, and they are implemented by this third class, multiple MI interfaces. So the MI interface has to give implementation for the print method, hello method and show method. So this print method, show and hello has to be implemented is overridden by the MI interfaces class. So here we have two parent classes. From two parent classes, one child class is obtained. So these parent classes are implemented as interfaces, and it is the child class will inherit those features of the parent class by implementing it, by using the implements keyword. So this is about multiple inheritance in Java. So you create an object of that class and you're invoking the show method, show, print and hello method. So that's all for today. So in preparing this slide, I have made use of Java Complete Reference by Herbert Schill, the Samantha Sir's website, Oracle's tutorial and Java T-Point website. Thank you for watching my video. That is all for today. We will see you in the next class.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.